So he asked, are you interested to relocate to Hong Kong for work? So that time I did told her, I said, but I don't really speak Cantonese. So what they told me was, it's fine. Why you laugh?
No, it's as ballsy as, I'm going to France to work and I can't speak an ounce of French, right? No, but it's okay, they speak English there, MNC.
Yeah, that's what they say. My goodness.
Before we begin rolling, you can just introduce yourself for our audience that don't know you and all that.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie. Right now I'm working in Hong Kong as a pastry chef. So, some more.
Hey, that's awkward, right? But okay. I get it. Yes,
not experience, right?
Yeah, I know. We all gotta start somewhere, right? Yeah. And for all of you tuning in, you tune in regularly. There's this one person that I referenced that, had a 30% increase in her salary after she shifted to another country, right? Ta-da! Right, so yes. But I believe now it's a lot better, right? So now...
how do I say? If I had to come back to Singapore to work, it's a 50% pay cut.
Why the difference so big? So what is your role exactly now? And then how does it translate to a 50% pay cut if you come into Singapore?
So right now I'm as a junior sous chef in the hotel. So that's considered like a management, but more of the lower tier management.
Middle management, right? The one that the very gangkor one. Upset tell you to do something. Yeah. Below feedback. Say, why cannot like that? Blah, 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 right? Yes.
So yeah, the sandwich lah.
Yeah, the sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So over there, I was in charge of most of the daily operation, make sure the daily operation is well, then guide my, the younger staff, junior staff.
Absorb their complaint.
Yeah, and organize what they are supposed to do, and then of course to assist my chef to, come up with some new desserts and help him solve his problem because that's part of my job. Yeah.
Nice. So you have a pastry chef above you or?
Yeah, I have a pastry chef. So I'm like second in charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And then why do you have a 50% pay cut if you come back?
So if I were to come back to take the same position, I would need to take like 50% pay cut because that's the market rate here.
50% is quite big. So it's... So why the difference?
Why the difference? Yeah. I think it's just the...
Like, do people generally in Hong Kong pay more for chefs?
I think they pay better generally.
Okay.
Yeah, not just like chef, but like everything. Yeah, even for the fresh grad for the kitchen, they get like 15,000 Hong Kong dollars. So that equates to about 2,005 Sing dollars for a fresh grad. So that's like a lot. Over here it's probably 1,005, 1,008 at the most. Yeah, that is.
Kitchen culture need to step up. Very bad. It's horrible, right? 1,005. 怎样吃饭?
Yeah, that's why no Singaporeans want to work in F&B.
But what about the kind of like finance or like, like the office job kind of thing in Hong Kong?
I think they pay way better
than here.
I'm not sure of the rate here, but the last I heard before when someone relocate there, one of the Swiss bank, they will offer relocation package, so everything is included, and on top of that, the salary there will be 60,000 Hong Kong dollars. So that should be about 10k Sing as a VP.
Okay, you can drop me. My email is here. Open for hiring. Yes. Oh my god, relocation. Okay. So do you get relocation package then?
My first company, I get relocation benefits. I would say it's an expat package. So I get benefits like, return air tickets. Then I have, the first ticket there is provided. Yeah. And housing provided. By the company source it for me. I just go there and stay.
Which is crazy, right? Like the housing there is nuts. Is it still the case?
I think it's still the case. But I got a better place now.
Okay, yeah. I know. I did visit you in your first place. So, yeah. So I know the situation. Okay, so a few steps, right? So let's start with like, why did you even go there in the first place?
Okay. So to be honest, I did not expect Hong Kong at all. Okay. I mean, I did not know a single Cantonese back then.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Two of us at the market now, and said, what the person say?
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically that time I want to leave my chef because I've been following him for like quite a while. So I'm like looking
No need to name drop, but the chef is a legend. Right, it's a very famous chef.
Legend.
It's a local legend. and been with him for many, many, many years. Yes.
So I wanted to like move on to another chef because I believe you need to like go explore different chef working styles and all.
But that was not how it started. For a long time, you just wanted to stay with this chef. What changed?
Probably because, of course, there's some inequality in the kitchen, some unfairness, all this kind of stuff.
Can say more.
Can say more? No, it's a lot of things like, maybe from his point of view, it's like, cause he's my mentor, so he nitpicks at every single thing. And maybe it's for my best, but to me, you feel like it's very unfair. Why this person do it is fine, I cannot do it. But this person is supposed to be more senior, so a lot of this.
I know.
Yeah.
It's the mentor kind of situation.
Yeah.
Right? When the person is your mentor, they have an outsized expectation of you.
Yeah, to a point where it become a bit over, like. Yeah.
But ask yourself, touch your heart, ask yourself, after you go out, do you appreciate that kind of like rigor that he has instilled?
Definitely I appreciate. that I don't deny. But I believe as a mentor, if you really want your staff to go further, I think he should more or less support that I actually went out. Yeah.
Okay. So then how was it then? How did you get this job?
Okay, so I was like everywhere looking for a job. I used LinkedIn to, try to see where I can go and work. So I did consider like going to work overseas. So I applied some overseas job, but obviously there's no news. Yeah. So one day out of the sudden, someone actually contacted me like through LinkedIn and asked, are you interested in working in overseas?
Oh wait, someone contacted you?
Yeah.
It's not the other way around.
So technically I'm sort of headhunted there in a way, right? Yeah, because it is a headhunter company anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. So he asked, are you interested to relocate to Hong Kong for work? So that time I did told her, I said, but I don't really speak Cantonese. So what they told me was, it's fine. Why you laugh?
No, it's as ballsy as, I'm going to France to work and I can't speak an ounce of French, right? No, but it's okay, they speak English, they're MNC.
Yeah, that's what they say. My goodness. Yeah, I said, they speak English and Mandarin is fine. So okay, so the key point, what they want, the reason why they want to source overseas applicants was like, because they need someone that speak English with that level of skill set. So that's like 3 years back to have that level of skill set and able to speak English. So it's quite limited. So they decided to, look overseas because the English that they need is actually quite fluent. Because you need to speak like with the New York chef and then with the French chef, so everything in English. So at first I thought it was like some scam because, there's like scams everywhere and maybe trust issue lah.
Fair. You should feel that way, yes.
Yeah, because in the very beginning, in the early stage, they cannot disclose the company name. They just say that, it's some New York brand going to Hong Kong to open a flagship store. Then a bit, like... is it real or not? So after that, the Hong Kong boss actually came Singapore for, I think, business travels lah. Then I met up with the boss. So everything sounds more legit, a little bit more. So it's until the day where I signed a contract, then I feel a bit more unseen, Still not like fully, but like a bit more.
Yeah, more peace.
So glad that I actually took the opportunity to go there. Though at the point of time, everyone was not encouraging me at all.
Yeah.
Because they have the demonstration at the end.
Yeah,
pretty bad.
I was there. Yeah. Okay. And many things happened while you were working there. Maybe kind of run us through like where are you over the past few years, like just for context sake, right? For our listeners that tune in, like you've changed a few jobs, how's the experience, how do you protect yourself when you're there, all that.
Okay.
And can you really survive without Cantonese?
Well, I would say no.
Don't be an Emily in Paris, okay? It doesn't work that way.
You can survive with Mandarin and English, but Cantonese just make things 10 times easier. At least they don't ignore you.
How bad is it?
On their part, if they don't understand a single shit, so they will like just ignore you lah. If you speak Cantonese, so everything just like gets easier. Yeah. So basically, I went to the first company. We need to communicate in English. Even within the locals that they hire, most of them actually went to the Cordon Bleu to study. During my first company, I did not actually learn a lot of Cantonese, just some basics, like how much is certain things and stuff. So after like 1 year, there's a change in the group pastry chef. I managed to find another job.
That means you betahan and left lah.
Yeah.
How was quitting a job there like, especially when you're a foreigner, right?
Okay, so the thing,
you're on a work visa, right? In that sense,
yeah.
How does it work?
It's actually quite troublesome because you need to. First thing is when you need to look for a job, you cannot let your current company know. By the time you got the job, and then you still need to get the visa application, and usually that takes like 4 to 6 weeks. So you need to really like see when you want to tender, serve your notice and all. Yeah, if not, you will need to like, in between, you'll be stuck there, doing nothing.
But your visa arrangement is done by the company?
So basically, I need to find companies that are willing to sponsor the visa. So that's the main thing. And as for reason someone will be able to justify the reason why they need foreigners. And yeah, so far no issue like for the 3 times. Yeah.
Okay. So because I think a lot of different countries, not everybody is as friendly to foreigners at this point in time, right? There's more protectionists around. I'm not saying it's good or bad. Like, what is the current situation in Hong Kong? Are they still hiring all sorts of people from everywhere?
If you're talking about hotel chef, it's common to hire non-locals. There are a lot of people like me, like from Malaysia or from Singapore, and we go there and work, and then we continue to work there. I won't say there's a lot of non-locals, but it's common to have foreigners. But it's usually the bigger position, the higher position, not the rank and file for sure.
Really?
Because if it's rank and file, you can get it anywhere. Like, I mean, you have enough locals to do it, so you don't really need to hire a foreigner.
Okay.
Yeah, and then for hotel executive chef, there is 80% always ang moh lah. So just that requirement.
Wait, it's a requirement?
Unsaid rules, I would say.
Okay. I know those are cultural situations.
Yeah, like you put an ang moh there and you put a local there.
Yeah, you can charge 30% more.
Yeah. Yeah, for no reasons.
Yes, betahan. Okay. Yeah, so then you changed to the next company. How was the situation like?
Okay, so the next company I went to, it was actually for a better exposure. Exposure
is a very sensitive word. Right?
Was it?
Exposure 没有饭吃. That's why it's called exposure.
Yeah, that's why it is. Because I actually took a small little pay cut. Yeah, but not a lot, maybe like 5% for a higher position. So it actually totally didn't make sense at all. Yeah, but like what I said, it's a better exposure. I get to do things like R&D. You have to create a menu and to try to manage like a few various brands, outlets. I think it's about 10 over outlets, 6 chains.
Wow.
So because of my age and my years of experience, most of the people will not hire me for that position. So I thought that, it's a good exposure.
Is it the same thing here in Singapore? Like when you were here, because of your age, number of years, you don't get to rise up?
Yes.
So the kitchen is a very guarded space in that sense.
It's always the same. Like they will always say that because you are not experienced enough, so they can't actually give you.
How do they measure the experience then?
For a management position, they're expecting over 10 years.
So it's just amount of years of work. Don't need to showcase that you got skills on it. Just
still need to showcase, but for their point of view, it's like, when you're more experienced, you know how to handle your staff. That's their point of view lah. But obviously, it doesn't work that way. Yeah. The second one was a very local company with their chains. So the culture is actually pretty much different from the first one. The first one is more like American style, so everything very standardized, and it's a bigger company, so also a better system lah. So the second one is more like family business, but in a bigger scale, but like in between nowhere. So everything is a bit messy. But because it's a local company, so they hire it's like all locals. So there's a lot of times which is actually pretty bad, I feel. I'm at a disadvantage lah. So whenever anything happen, the boss will be like, yeah, because you don't want to speak Cantonese, what? That's why this happened.
Wait, that's a reason?
Yeah, like my staff left because they said they can't understand what I'm speaking, like what I'm talking during work because I talk in English or Mandarin. Yeah, so it became an issue and then they resigned. Then I can't find another person, or because of that, I'm short of manpower. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm the boss. You should speak my language, not the other way around. If my boss speaks French, I would expect I speak French to him, right? So, yeah, and also there's also a lot of other situations whereby I need to, communicate with other outlets, all the seafood. So
I know the seafood.
yeah. Then if I speak in Mandarin and all
Actually,
or English,
they can understand one.
No, some they really cannot
They really
understand.
can understand. Okay.
Some really cannot, because it's really 老师傅.
Okay, 老师傅.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, 老师傅. Yes.
Yeah. Or what they always call the 老师法 lah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and if anything happen, anyway, they are like longer in the company lah. So they will like tell the boss, say, she speak in English, I don't understand. I didn't know this thing was supposed to be like this because it's not in Chinese. Yeah, then I got a bit like, upset about this part lah. But how do I say, rather than, just blaming that the company culture. So of course on my part I try to improve my Cantonese. So after like a few months, my Cantonese improved like drastically. Yeah, so
how do you do it?
Basically you just like talk with them in Cantonese. I will try to pronounce, like, try to say, and when it's incorrect, then they will correct me. And of course they will laugh at you lah. Yeah.
Okay.
But as times go by, then they get better. So yeah, that's how I get to know more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Nice. Okay, then why did you leave this company then?
Well, towards the company is going some restructuring.
Okay.
So in a way, they are kind of like asking me to leave, but because I'm bounded by contract, so they can't fire me. So on this part, I'm safe.
How does that work? You mean like in Hong Kong, if you have a contract, you're not fireable, or?
No. So in the first company, it was a full-time job. So I just signed on a full-time contract and work agreement. And then after that, it's a full-time position and there's not bonded by years. So it's only when I want to tender, I serve the notice, just like any other employee. And for visa part, they just need to renew when time calls for it. So on the second one, the boss, for some reason, he thinks that, okay, I don't want to, you work a few months and then you leave. So let's bond each other for 2 years contract. End of 2 years, we'll see how it is. Yeah, the time I signed for a 2-year contract. And towards the end, he plans to like restructure the company. So he didn't want the pastry department anymore.
Oh, he want to close the whole department.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so for clarity's sake, right? With this 2-year contract, means the boss cannot fire. You can litigate against the boss. That means you can go to the court and say that this guy is firing me, although the contract is 2 years.
Yes. Or he has to pay me for the balance of the months.
Wow. Okay.
Unless we both came to agreement where he lets me go and I go.
You're okay with it, and then you sign a separate thing, and then life carries on. Okay.
Yeah. But if not, he can't fire me just for if he wants,
Even if the performance is bad?
Technically, he can do that, but I don't think I have any issue with my performance.
No, I'm not saying you have performance, but it's more like within the Hong Kong law, there's something around there, or is it like you must then prove a very strong reason why you fire this person?
You need a very strong reason to fire. Like just like not performing is not good enough. You need like a real reason, like maybe a theft value of over a certain amount, that kind of stuff. Like really serious case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, can. Cool.
Okay, so apparently the first time when they actually do the change of my visa wasn't done really well. And I did not realize it until like the time where I need to really renew my visa. So I went to the company maybe in March. My contract is supposed to be 2 years. The time the changeover is like 2 to 4 weeks. It's like so fast. So I think the HR wasn't clear of what exactly to do. And somehow when she talked to the immigration officer, some information just did not went through.
It went through too fast. It just went through
away.
like, whoop,
Yeah. So the thing is, what she told me was, because my visa is not expired, so I can just continue to work because I just changed company. Yeah, I moved on to a new company, and then my existing company asked me like, oh, is there anything I need to do? And I also asked the agent, the headhunter that actually asked me go there. So they told me,
is it the same headhunter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just saying, you must have a good relationship with your headhunter.
Yeah, of course.
Because they're incentivized to sell you to the next company.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
that's their goal. They make a commission on that. So if you have good relationship with the headhunter, right, a lot of good things can come.
And she did help me to, find a few more jobs after. Yeah.
She want to sell you again, must get
Yeah,
commission.
yeah.
Right? It's all part. The incentives are tight.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
together.
Apparently, she told me was the next company is supposed to settle the work visa, so the previous one does not have to do anything. That don't need to really cancel out. When the new one goes through, then the old one will it will just cancel out. The H one will do anything. Yeah, so life just carry on. Yeah, and then the funny part is, so in Hong Kong, there's like something like CPF, so they call it MPF over there. Because I don't really care this kind of stuff lah. Me being me, yeah. So until like after a year plus, like towards the end of the employment, then I realized, my MPF account for the past 1 year never pump me any new money. And then
So this is your second company, right?
Yeah, this is my second company. And then I went to check back my pay slips and all. Then one of the things that they said was like, if the visa is less than 2 years, the company can skip the MPF contribution. So technically, if the contract is for 2 years, and they renew my visa at the point of time or something, they should be providing me the MPF. Yeah, but they did not deduct my MPF and I did not get any MPF.
So are you pursuing this thing at this point in time? Are you litigating, or is there some sort of legal counsel that you're talking to?
I'm thinking about if I should go and get the amount.
So they have like a Ministry of Manpower also that you
Yeah,
can
if
go?
I want to, they have.
Okay.
They're actually quite supportive of this labor law.
Really?
Quite good, yeah.
Very cool. Interesting. Okay. Hey, welcome to the Financial Coconut Podcast Network. I'm your host, Reggie, aka your Chief Financial Coconut. And if you're loving what we're creating here, like, share, subscribe, share with your loved ones, comment in the comment section below. And yeah, we'll see you for great content on Chills with TFC. So tell us a little bit about the whole NPF thing. Like how does it work? How is it similar or different to CPF?
I think it's more or less, I would say it's similar. The percentage is lower there. I think it's about 5%, not a lot. Every time when you enter a new company, they will ask you to fill out this CPF form. So unlike Singapore, where you just want to go into MPF, right? But over there, you will know that exactly which funds you want to like put your investment in. So in a sense where you get to know where your money actually goes into the investment. Then I think if I click on the website, you can actually see all the, the statements, how they earn and all that stuff. And clearly I don't understand a single shit.
Yeah. I received your text. It's like, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Yeah, there's so many funds, index and all that. So yeah.
Okay, wait, so in Singapore's situation, when you contribute to CPF, right, there's like the 3 bucket, right? There's the ordinary, medical, and then the special account.
Yeah.
And then they have different users, but in Hong Kong, no.
It's just one account.
Just one account. And the account is only used for investments.
Yeah.
Because the account is only for retirement. Is that the idea?
I suppose so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then your employer will also contribute 5%.
Yes.
You contribute 5%?
Yes. So it's the same amount there.
And then you have a list of funds that you can choose.
Yeah, like where I want to invest. And I think you can change at any time if you want to.
So then, is there a time period where people can take out the money?
I think they can only take it out when it's like retiring.
So about 65, 55.
Yeah,
is there a number? Do you know?
Not sure.
Okay. So it's a similar structure.
Yeah. But for my part is because I'm not a resident there, not a local resident. So I can take the money back when I leave Hong Kong.
Yes, same as our Malaysian friends that work here.
Yes.
But how's the feedback? People on the ground, do they like NPF? Like the people in Hong Kong?
People don't talk about it.
Really?
I think to begin with, it's not a huge amount. I mean, it's just 5%. Singapore is like 20%, right? And so it's worth a talk, right?
It's worth a talk, yes.
Yeah. But over there, it's just 5%, so it's not that much to them. But as what I heard is they are pretty envious of our CPF system. The fact that they actually split it into like 3 accounts. I think the only attractive part is where we can use the CPF to, buy a house.
That one is a never-ending story, right? That one is the Hong Kong property situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what about your medical expenses when you're there? Like, do you need to have insurance when you're there? Your company will cover you, or how does it work there?
So for the very first company I was in is decent benefits, so I have medicals included. At the point of time, I do not feel the pinch in the medical fees as a foreigner lah.
Yes.
So it's only when I went to the second company. So the second company is quite on the stingy side lah.
I think you've painted it very well lah. Yes.
So there's like no medical benefits. Then at the point of time, I'm like very shocked. I was like, how can you have like no medical benefits? Because it's a normal thing in Singapore, like all company has, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think so lah. I don't know to take that position, but I think that is how it should be.
Well, at
least if you have money in the CPF, right, you have some sort of basic cover lah in that sense.
So for that company there's like no medical benefits. They don't reimburse anything for you seeing the doctor, and there's even no paid sick leave.
And it's okay. Like by law, it's okay.
Okay, so that's the next thing. So the boss also painted it very well.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't
3
worry.
years, many things happen to you, huh? Okay, please continue.
Yeah, so the boss actually told me, said, oh, don't worry, my company is actually very good one, very fair one.
Every boss say that, I tell you. Yes, every boss, I've met so many. We're very structured, very organized. Right?
Yeah. What he told me is that, oh, don't worry, we will give you what I should be giving you. So in other words, that after I entered the company and all, I realized was there's no medical benefit. Then I asked the HR like, oh, how come it's like this? They say it's not compulsory. Say when you don't have the medical benefits in a company, then everything will relate back to the labor law. So there's actually a lot of labor laws to follow. On the labor law, you need to be sick for at least 4 days in order to get paid sick leave. And even if it's paid sick leave, it will be like 80% paid. It's not 100% paid sick leave. Yeah, so that's by their labor law, the medical benefits.
So you think the labor law is not strong enough?
Maybe for the local is kind of okay because they can have the government subsidy, go to the government doctor to get 4 or 5 days sick leave. Yeah, but me, I'm a foreigner, I don't get the...
You cannot go to the government hospital, or even if you go, you're paying like a private.
Yeah, I get it. So might as well just go for a private. So over there is, because they are Chinese culture, right? The consultation fee is 1, and then when they charge you the medicine, they don't count by how many medicine I'm giving you. It's not that they are selling the medication. It's more like they count by how many days of medication you're taking. So it's like TCM. So TCM charge you by 3 days medicine or 4 days medicine or 5 days. So imagine I took 3 days medication. It's about 500 Hong Kong dollars.
Per day or together?
Together with the consultant. So that's close to $80. Just for normal fever.
Yeah. Shout out to Polyclinic, right?
Yeah, $6.
Although the queue is very long, right? Must improve, but yes, it's very cheap.
Yeah. So for me, I would not want to like spend money on it. And because previously my first company, they actually covers GP visits, the TCM. Yeah. So
like shiok only.
Shiok, just claim.
Yeah, just claim shiok only.
Yeah.
Okay. But the latest, your current company also has all these.
Yeah, it has all this.
Okay. So after a second traumatic experience, then you have this, you have this, cover everything, right? Okay. Fair, interesting. Any other things about medical expenses?
I will believe it's crucial to have insurance there lah, as a foreigner. Because when you're a local, so anything you can fall back on the government for subsidies. And over there, I got a health insurance lah. I realized that if I don't have a medical insurance, so I need to tank all the medical costs like 100%. There's nothing to rely on. And then if you talk about the medical insurance in Singapore that are supposed to help me there, so apparently it did not really help me there.
Oh, really? So you mean those kind of like international coverage one, is it?
Yeah.
What is the insurance that you bought here that didn't cover you in Hong Kong?
At the point of time when I go over to Hong Kong, so actually I asked my agent like, oh, should I cancel the policies and all because I'm going to be there for quite some time, so at least for a few years. So obviously the agent will ask me not to cancel, right?
So now you cancel the agent.
I just say let's. The funny thing is like, oh yeah, your policy will work internationally also. So the key point is, if I want to like treat it overseas, like let's say in Hong Kong, it has to be life-threatening. So it's almost useless in that sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that means that basically, in other words, that cause actually last year I went through a minor surgery, so I can't claim it for sure because it's not life-threatening. The thing is, if I want to get the treatment, I need to be back in Singapore to get the treatment done. So if I want to do it in Hong Kong, it has to be like life-threatening where I can't fly back, then that's only where I can claim. And because it's private hospital, I'm actually able to claim Gleneagles in Hong Kong. But yeah, I can't.
Okay.
Because most of my policy lapsed here. So I actually got another health insurance in Hong Kong. And I'm not sure it's because a newer policy or because it's just being Hong Kong. Over there, the agent told me that the insurance is international. Meaning to say, if I were to be back in Singapore, I can still make claims. Does not have to be life-threatening.
And then?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds more like really international for me lah. Yeah.
Interesting point. So how much are you paying then for your insurance? The medical insurance you are paying in Hong Kong is your own private one. It's not company paid.
No.
Okay.
But my company actually has their own medical benefits too.
Okay.
But for my point is like since the policy lapsed in Singapore, then if I still need to like redo the whole thing, then might as well get it in Hong Kong. I'm paying in USD lah. So pretty much international.
How much can say?
It's about 200 over USD.
A month.
A month.
Well, that is okay. Better claim everything. That one,
yeah,
it's quite pricey. Okay. Then what is your like spending like in Hong Kong? Like, you know, everybody's typical idea of like how they envision I potentially work in Hong Kong is the 买东西吃东西, right? Like they go there and then they do like those 3 days trip, right? Or like 4-day long weekend turn around Hong Kong. And then from there, they benchmark life in Hong Kong. Additional all the horror stories of like small house, which is true. Houses that are very small, right?
It's very small.
But how exactly is like cost of living for you as a like someone that lived there?
To be very honest, I think cost of living, definitely some items are more expensive. But if you take into consideration that they actually have minimum wage, that's why perhaps that's why their salary are much higher there. So it kind of makes sense. But let's say if you spend $500 grocery in Singapore, your groceries might not be the best.
Wow. Okay, share please.
I mean, I actually took a walk in the market like this morning.
Yeah.
And the vegetable just looked so sad, so depressing.
It's like
halfway dying, you know.
Yeah.
And this in Hong Kong is like so fresh. Yeah, maybe the price is like almost the same or maybe just a bit more, but you get better quality there. Fresh produce is like definitely better. And I think if it's fruits, it might be even cheaper over there. Yeah, because they have their own farm, they cultivate their own, and then they have China.
Fair, right? Everything just come through the causeway. The whole thing is there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair, interesting. So then, what is your average living cost like there for you as a person?
Can I count in Hong Kong dollars?
Yeah, sure. Please go for it. Yeah.
If I were to cook my own meals, I would gauge about 500 to 800 a week, Hong Kong dollars.
Hong Kong dollars, okay.
Yeah, depending how lavish I want to eat.
Lavish, okay.
Yeah, but because over there I actually adopt a cleaner diet. Yeah.
Why cannot adopt a clean diet here, leh?
I don't know. I think it's just the culture is different. It's not common for people to bring lunchbox to the office here. At least at that point of time, it's not common. But in Hong Kong, it's very common for people to bring their own lunchbox. Yeah. For food-wise, 500, 800 if I do my own meals the whole week. So if I were to eat out, probably for normal meals, like simple lunch, within 100 Hong Kong dollars. Very decent already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want a more local one, probably 50 is enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And their portion is like huge, so definitely enough.
Okay. Fair, interesting. So at the end of the month, how much have you calculated before? Like how much you spend a month across all these things?
What I calculated was my minimum. I was gauge about 13 to 15,000
Hong Kong dollars.
Yeah, for a month.
13,
including my rent and everything.
Okay, but is your rent covered by your company?
No, this time no.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm no longer on the expat.
Yeah, no longer expat already. So sad, right?
Consider like local package already.
Yeah. Okay. But how many times more are you making then from your first salary to now? How many % more are you making?
How many % more? 30% more around there.
Okay. Interesting. But then now you got to pay your own lodging lah, in that sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for the juicy part, right? Where do you lodge at? How
Where
does
do I
it
lodge?
work? Where do you stay? What have you tried in Hong Kong?
Wow, I tried a lot. Even my colleagues is saying like, oh yeah, house moving is your hobby. You move out 3 times a year. Yeah, no, I wanted it, you know. So actually I went from the very first house was all the way in Taiwan. So that's like
Jurong like that.
Yeah, like Jurong is like out of nowhere. Like nobody will go there.
Jurong people, please hate on her, okay? Cancel her.
Anyway, so that was the first house, and I would say it's a legit house lah.
That is not a good platform to start. Means from there it's only a one way down, right? It's gonna get worse and worse. Okay. Why is it a legit house? Why is that the only legit house?
I think it's the most closest to the Singapore home lah. I mean, you've been there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a living room, you have a proper kitchen. So the unit is about 600 square feet. And as far as I remember, the rent is 19,000. So I'm not sure if it's considered expensive as compared to
19,000 Hong Kong dollars. Divided by 6. So that's about 3,000.
5.6, 5.8 depends on the rate.
So about 3 plus, close to 4. About 3 plus thousand.
Yeah, for the whole unit. That whole place is just like a whole estate built just for living, people to live in.
It's very nice. It's a nice estate.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the first one. And then the next was I moved to a service apartment.
Okay.
So that cost me about 12 to 13,000
Hong Kong
dollars in Causeway Bay.
Plus. Okay.
Given that a service apartment is definitely not cheap. Yeah, but everything is covered.
Yeah, you stay in Causeway Bay.
Yeah, stay in Causeway Bay.
Which is like the Orchard.
Yeah, it's like
Orchard, yes.
Everything happens there.
Everything happens there, yes. Protest also.
Yeah, every single day.
Yes.
Yeah, so 13,000 is only for like 200 square feet around there. Then I think I shift to another smaller unit, to save a few more thousand.
Very the
rent is really...
Yeah, rent is crazy.
But it's very nicely renovated lah. I mean, service apartment. I won't say it's not overpriced, but it's a good place to stay. And then you have all the people to help you fix when things goes wrong.
So still very atas lah.
Kind of like, it's like hotel room, that kind lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, to save the few thousand.
Yeah, so I moved into a room that is like, I think 150 square feet. That's like the smallest ever in Hong Kong.
Small.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
So the space that I can actually walk is like so small. So it's basically I just stand up. Everything is within like one arm length. Yeah, one
arm. Some people it's a 3-point turn.
Yeah. So
Hong Kong, everything is a 3-point turn. Yeah.
So I just like reach out a bit, I reach the stove area, I reach out a bit, I reach my desk, I reach out a bit, I got my fridge.
You know what is it called?
What?
It's called cozy.
Yeah, that's what I told my friend. Then my friend says like, a little bit too cozy.
Too cozy. So how much was that?
That was like 11,000.
All included?
Yeah, all included.
Everything.
Yeah, internet, everything.
11,000. Okay, you get a cozy apartment. Also in Tung Hok Wan.
Yeah, also. Okay. I think that time one of the reason I chose service apartment was because I don't need a lot of deposit. Because it's only like 1,000 Hong Kong dollars for the deposit. But if I go for the local estate, it's an upfront 3 months rent in total. Yeah. Usually it's half a month to a month for the agent fee. And then there's a first month rental. And then there's 1 month rental for deposit. So yeah, it's usually 3.
But do you pay the agent fee? Or is it like you pay upfront, the landlord will pay the agent fee, and then it will come back to you?
No. We need to pay the agent fee. Yeah.
Okay. Then that's different.
But on the contract, it's actually quite safe because when I sign a contract, they actually have this clause whereby, because we pay the agent fee, right? And if either party decided not to rent the place before the actual contract starts, right? The other party have to pay for all the rent, for the agent fee. So initially, so that's why it's always half month rental to the agent, because half have to be covered by the rentee. Yeah, the owner.
Okay. Fair. And just saying, right, some things cannot save, and I really think this kind of agent property, especially when you go to a new place that you're unfamiliar, right, this one cannot save. In my view, right? Because you want an intermediary to be there to kind of like support you if there's any dispute, especially when you're in a new place that you don't know. And that also means that you want to go for a reputable agency, I feel. Right? Yeah. So personal viewpoint, personal advice, this is.
towards the end of my lease in Causeway Bay, so I decided, okay, maybe I can try other area lah. Cause
Who gave you the idea that you can try other area?
So one of my colleague is actually moving to a new house. So the next best thing that you can get is actually share with another person. So at least you can get a 2-room unit. Yeah, that's when you can at least go for a 400 square feet lah. A bit more decent. Yeah. So apparently, in the end, she actually persuaded me to stay in Yuen Long. So Yuen Long is like another world.
It's like Yishun like that, is it? Far up in the north,
I think
in its
even
own...
further than
So
Yishun.
it's a Choa Chu Kang.
Yeah, Choa Chu Kang. They call it the Chin Oak. So it's like village house in English. When she asked me to stay in Yuen Long, so it's all the way at the end of the other. You know what the locals always say? Yuen Long mo pen yao ah. You have no friends.
No friend, no friend. The bird also don't fly there, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
How much rent were you paying in Yuen Long then?
Oh, that one was like the cheapest ever. For 3-story. So each story is about 100 over square feet. So in total's perimeter, I would say it's about 600 lah. And I even have a small balcony. It is 8,000 Hong Kong dollars. So it's actually very cheap. I mean, if I split it into half, it's like 4,000 a month. So after like for 5 months, then I changed companies. Then I played the sympathy card lah. I said, I need to, work in the city.
Life is hard.
Yeah, Hong Kong
Stay back
Island.
in
I need to work like 12 hours. Then my journey, 1 hour to and fro 2 hours. My God, I still need to go to the gym. My God, I need to spend like 16 hours. So poor thing. Yeah, then at that point of time, she also planned to move out lah. Because the boyfriend has a house in Sha Tin. In the end, so I moved out to Tai Kok Tsui. So that's actually near Mong Kok. Yeah,
MK house, MK style.
Yeah.
It's a derogatory term, right? You say something very MK. It's like bang like that.
Yeah.
You're very MK. Yes.
Yeah.
Not bad. I know a little bit of this thing.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Yes.
So over there, I got myself about 200 square feet, paying about 6,300. I think it's reasonable. Yeah, so I have a partition for the bedroom side lah. So it feels like a living room and a bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
it's
it's
like
a
a
house
studio.
got partition, and next door your neighbor got activity, you also can hear that.
No. But it's I think this owner a bit better lah. Because usually one house they will split into like 3 units, like A, B, C, and then it will be like 150 square feet or less. For this one, he just split into 2. So it's about 200 lah here and there.
More chill lah.
At least I have my own kitchen. I can cook stuff.
At least you got to walk. It's not a
can
reach
walk.
away.
Yeah.
Horrible. Oh God, horrible. Okay, cool. Any other big things that you spend on, or any other things that you feel like for someone considering working in Hong Kong, they need to know?
For a start, it's better to get through expat. Or some relocation package. So people settle the housing off for you lah.
Must ask for it.
Yeah, because if you know nothing and you got no relative, it's hard for you to find a place to stay. Like you don't even know which is the more legit one. And then will be understand the culture there.
What's the culture there like?
What's the culture there? Pretty straightforward lah.
Share a little bit more about work culture in Hong Kong. What does straightforward mean?
If they are upset about something, they just tell you right in the face. Vulgarities are normal there. It's nothing new. I mean, over here, I think they take vulgarities to a bit more sensitive. Yeah, over there, it's like nothing. It's like their normal language.
I know the D word, right? It's just part of it. Yes.
Yeah, it's just part of it.
Package deal one. It's like comma. That one is a comma.
Yeah, then people are more direct. Some they say they're very fast paced, very rushed. I mean, yeah, they're very fast. But if you put it in another way, they're actually very efficient. In the company culture there, I don't think it's common here, but it's pretty common there where when you're not performing, then company actually fire you. They can do layoff. It's like very common.
I thought you said the labor laws are strong.
For me, I have contract bond, so they can't fire me because of those stuff. Yeah, because there's no clause in the comment where it states that he can fire me because of underperforming or what. It just says that the contract is for 2 years. So the HR did not write a good contract. Yeah,
Okay.
because most they will actually say like one side can break contract if anything happens, all the clause. Yeah, but this one they did not do anything.
Okay, fair. Any other things like financially that we should be aware of when we're thinking of working in Hong Kong? Maybe how do you bring money back to Singapore?
For me, I just do Wise, the
Okay.
remittance service.
Never sponsor, but okay. I'm a big fan of the service anyway. So yes,
It's
yes.
quite fast,
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
convenient to use it.
Okay.
Oh, anyway, opening a bank in Hong Kong is super troublesome.
Even though you have a work permit?
Yes, even though the first time when I want to get the bank account open, I think I make like at least 3 trips down. Any documents you are missing, they don't let you open. And it's not just like work permit. So that time I need to get my work permit there. I need to have my Hong Kong ID in, and then I need to have my proof of residence. So the annoying thing is, I was telling the bank, okay, so I have no phone line here. I have not opened a bank account here. So what I can give you is the only proof of residence because my company provides. So the only thing I can give you is the company letter that states that I stay in there, and then they don't accept that. So they want like, like the normal mail where they send something to you.
No. Then got the header at the top.
Yeah.
So know that it's you, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then I was like, it's not that I don't want, but I don't even have anything to be sent in because you guys don't let me open. I think the lucky thing is the very first thing, also troublesome. I have a telephone line, the handphone mobile line. But because that time my Hong Kong ID is not ready yet, so I need to apply it with my passport. But at least I got the proof of residence. Then I need to get a proof of residence, the work visa, your Hong Kong ID, all these things before you can actually get the bank account. And then certain bank account, they will need you to have like minimum balance and all to before you can open. And the common one will be about 10,000 Hong Kong dollars to open.
Okay.
Some will be 5,000 to begin with. Yeah, so different banks have different.
So you believe in the Hong Kong future?
Very hard to say.
You can share your view.
A lot of people are leaving.
Oh wait, a lot of people are leaving?
Like the locals, because they have the BNO passport, and then at this current time, for some reason, UK wants citizens, so they ask a lot of people to go there.
No, some reason. The reason is very clear. Because they left the EU and then they got not enough workers.
Is it?
Yeah, and then the EU is making it very hard for them to bring like cheap labor from EU into the UK. Of course, right? You leave my alliance, I'm going to make it hard for you to function so that no other people will leave. That's the idea, right? So they make it very hard. Of course, so the UK open doors, lie, right?
Yeah,
so,
a lot. Canada, UK.
Yeah. It's very understandable on this. Okay, so a lot of people are leaving.
Yeah.
Are a lot of people coming in then?
A lot of PRCs.
Okay.
Yeah.
50,000 every year, right? It's very well documented. Since the start of the reunion, every year about 50,000 mainland Chinese people shift into Hong Kong, about there.
Yeah. I think they call them the new immigrants.
Yeah, that's why they're in the new territory, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the cultural friction very strong?
It's there lah.
Okay.
Strong or not is depends on who you hang out with.
Okay. But it's there.
It's there.
You
It's
feel
there.
it. Okay. So then are you gonna come back to Singapore?
I won't come back in the next few years' time.
Why?
Firstly is I actually enjoy working there. I find the culture there more something I can adapt more better in.
Why?
I think Singaporeans are 豆腐 hard. I mean, where else in the world can you be so direct? Like, if I'm not happy with you, I just say, why this thing look like shit? Can you do a better job? Do you think I can do that in Singapore? Yeah, everything needs to be more rounded, put in phrase it better for people to listen it. But in Hong Kong, like, people don't care. You just say what you want to say.
So you actually thrive in the environment, you feel?
Yeah.
Nice. So other than that, like, are you planning to get a PR there or something? Or like, what's the situation?
The thing is, I've been there for like 3 years. So as you know, I just moved on to the current company for a few months. So I will be expecting myself to work in there for about 2 years at least. So if I actually stay for another 2 years, that's about 5 years plus in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong is if you work for 7 years, you will get a PR.
Okay.
So in my view is if I'm already there for 5 years, why not stay for another 2 to get a PR?
Okay.
Because when you're a PR, everything is like much easier to do.
Like in what sense?
Like I can just change job. I don't need to wait for the visa. One of the things I told my boss, they will always ask me like when am I leaving or if I want to leave. leave if things get tough. And I said, oh, don't worry. I can't leave the company so easily because of the work visa. Yeah, I kind of like bonded here. Not that I'm bonded, but it will make me think twice before if I really want to move, because changing a visa is troublesome and you need to look for a company that actually willing to sponsor that. And most of the time it's big companies.
Okay. So no other perks then other than that part? Like do you get perks for like public housing or something just because you're a PR?
I think they have better consumption voucher, they call it. Something like GST voucher.
I heard it's quite a big one, the GST voucher rebate.
If you compare to Singapore, it's I think 5 times more.
Wait, so how much in Hong Kong dollars?
10,000 per year. Because they were asking me like if I still get a GST return. So yeah, I still, because under the government I'm not working. So I like freeloader lah. So I still get it. Then initially they did not give out the consumption voucher for non-locals, like non-residents. So I think the first few years, so during the COVID time, was pretty bad. Because I have no support from the government and not like I'm going to get support from Singapore too, right?
Yeah, I mean you don't work here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you pan too already.
Anyway, so yeah, so they was telling me, after that they released the news that we who are foreigners that have been working there for a certain period of time, we will get the consumption voucher too, because in a way we contribute to the economy, but we don't get the full amount, we get like half. I mean, better than nothing, right? Yeah. So they told me like, very good, you can get like the voucher from like both sides. So I told them, Singapore one, you can barely do anything with it. Because for them, when they get a consumption voucher, they can like get an iPad, buy an iPhone, or get a massager, like really big spending. I don't think you can do that in here, right?
You can eat the cha downstairs. Yeah.
I
don't know. Yes. Okay. Fair. Cool. Any advice for someone looking to work in Hong Kong?
Be prepared that people are just going to be very direct, and then they are pretty harsh on many things, I would say. Very realistic. Yeah, so everything is all about money lah. And maybe a little bit more negative lah. Yeah. Because they're very stressed, I know. Hong people are very stressed.
Can tell, right? Can understand why, right? So do you feel like that is Singapore's journey? Like we're just getting there?
They are only stressed about the finance part lah, but they are not stressed about other things, I feel. I don't know, but in Singapore there's this logic, I feel that is people will need to like get married around 20 over, get a house before 30, have kids. And if I tell them like this story to my Hong Kong friends, they will say that this is just like the mainland China. That to them, they don't buy this. So a lot of people there, they will be together, but they don't get married. I think just there, and the space are going to be very small. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, keep an open mind.
Yeah. Mine was open very big. Okay, cool. Thank you for your time. Lovely. First question is, what is the best and worst investment you've ever made?
When I'm in Hong Kong, I actually spend a lot of time to invest in myself. Yeah, I eat better, I pick up gym, and healthy lifestyle. To me, I think that's pretty good.
Nice. What's the worst?
Probably the times where I spend the money on the service apartment.
Fair. Okay, next question. What is one thing under $100 that has been a game changer for you?
You know the shoehorn? Oh, that is like life-changing thing. One of my friends actually showed me that there's this thing. I was like, wow, this is so amazing.
I know. I love it. Shoehorns. All of you should get a shoehorn.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question is, what is a place that you learn that you feel is underrated? Means you want to share with people. Like it can be a book, it can be a website, it can be a YouTube channel, it can be a podcast. Anything. Learn anything.
For me, it would be this fitness influencer, Dino Kang.
Okay. Dino, I love you. I'll just say yes. You are controversial. Okay. We have an interview together, so yes.
Okay. I find his content very outright.
Very in your face, right?
Yeah,
Dino, your influence went all the way to Hong Kong. So yes. Nice.
Yeah, but I only get to know him like when I'm in Hong Kong, like when I started working out, all the fitness stuff.
Nice.
I think it's pretty good, like very good fitness knowledge to know that nobody even know. I mean, health is wealth, right?
Wow, cheesy. But I get it.
I mean, it is.
I get it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.